Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm gonna do a quick video on just talk about a topic I thought about today about like mastering multiple disciplines, and doing a number of things. You know what I'm saying? At all at the same time. I know it's a lot of flack. People get a lot of flack by people say, oh, you're a jack of all trades, a master of none. But what people don't know, that full statement is jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would say I think we can all actually master multiple disciplines. I just think it is. I don't know why it is on. It's kind of like casting a negative light if you are doing multiple things at once. But it's like all of us pretty much are doing multiple things. You know what I'm saying? Like, except for maybe football player, entertainer, or something like that. Somebody that's very highly popular, rapper or something like that. But then boxing. But shoot, I ain't heard Terrence Crawford say like he invests in assets. Like buying land and stuff like that. Like he ain't like buying a whole bunch of material stuff. You know what I'm saying? But even Floyd Mayweather, which he's highly you know what I'm saying? He's highly I guess you want to say known to buy, extravagant things, to highly extravagant and things like that with spending on material things. But shoot, he bought, I believe what I'm saying, bought some apartment buildings in Manhattan or something like that. You know what I'm saying? To real estate. You know what I'm saying? So he's even doing other things with his money. You know what I'm saying? He got some other things he got going on in Las Vegas too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just said that to say, like, I think, man, I would say, yeah, if you can focus on one thing and master that, and if that can be your only, if that's your only source of income or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, you know what I'm saying, like for myself, what I have to do is focus on what I'm really, you know what I'm saying, trying to master. But at the same time, it's like my passions and other ideas I have, it's like I try to actually execute on those too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, the way I think about, hey, we only got one life, man. You better do everything you can, to fulfill your vision and the thoughts you have for yourself. You know what I'm saying? How you want to see yourself, and how you want to live your life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I think in this society we get put down. Well, we probably don't get. I ain't gonna say we get put down. I think people would say, oh, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing more than one thing, you got more than one business or whatever. But at the same time, I would say, sometimes you have to step through a door when it's open. And you may have some other things going on at the same time. That other door comes open, man. You got to step through it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wait too long, them doors will close on you. You know what I'm saying? You might not have the same contact, that same business loan or whatever it may come. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the same. You know what I'm saying? A few months or years down the road. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to, sometimes you have to execute on those things. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I am, and that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And plus, where I pretty much wrote my life plan out on what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna be, into. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I operate. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too, like, I think people should, you should have something. You gotta have something to take care of yourself. But a lot of us, man, just be honest. A lot of us are not doing what we really, in our heart, really want to be doing in life. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I want to be in music, you know what I'm saying? But I've been pretty much doing music my whole life, but that's not what I'm depending. That's my life as far as like my livelihood depends on, you know what I'm saying? It's not music. But if I could do music, I'd rather be doing music, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. Focusing on, craft, that's my craft. Actually, I told my home the other day, I say, actually, music. Like, he was like, man, you doing your thing, you doing real estate, you doing that. I was like, man, but I think music is my craft. That's where, like, if somebody say, hey, man, you working on your craft, like something you're really trying to master, you know what I'm saying? That's my craft. But I'm not living a life of an artist or a musician, you know what I'm saying? Because I have to take care of myself by other means. But I'm not setting music aside, 'cause I still do music like pretty much every day. As a matter of fact, I made a song, man, that I really, really like, you know what I'm saying, called "A Million Soldiers." And I think honestly, I think it's a hit song. I let a few other people hear it, they like it, you know what I'm saying, and gave me good feedback on it, you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get it released. I just need to get some clearance, things taken care of on it. But you know what I'm saying, I think it's a really, 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 really great song, that I did and wrote and performed it, you know what I'm saying? So that's really my passion. But I understand, like, it's other things I have to master, like with cooking, you know what I'm saying, doing the food truck thing. Like, I'm working in that, I'm mastering that. Like, it's like certain things I'm doing that I done did, it's like I mastered making certain desserts, you know what I'm saying, making certain food. I mastered that because I done did like that years. This is years of doing the same thing. That's why I mastered that, you know what I'm saying. But that take care of the bills, that take care of my bills. Also, working like I work at General Motors, that takes care of my bills, you know what I'm saying. But I have things like my passions, you know what I'm saying, that I am mastering and developing my craft on, that I'm gonna end up only doing, you know what I'm saying, for the rest of my life. Because the way I'm doing it is like I'm setting myself up so I can do music for the rest of my life, doing the real estate, getting the rental properties, you know what I'm saying, so that money can fund my music, you know what I'm saying, my craft in that music, and my music career, you know what I'm saying. And even though, people are like, oh, well, you 50 years old, but it don't matter, you know what I'm saying. People do music the rest of their life. I mean, you got musicians, yeah, they may have started young, and they do music for the rest of their life, you know what I'm saying. What people don't know is that I started young, you know what I'm saying, like literally, you know what I'm saying, like early, like, doing, we rapping and making beats and all type of stuff, you know what I'm saying. We young. Matter of fact, y'all probably don't know, bebopping, you know what I'm saying. We were bebopping, you know what I'm saying, rapping the beats like that, you know what I'm saying. So we battle rapping and bebop, bebopping, you know what I'm saying. So, we on the playground, we bebopping like a mug, you know what I'm saying, and rapping, beating the table with our hands, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I've been doing music, you know what I'm saying, but I think that is my craft. That's my passion. But at the same time, like I said, you got to be financially responsible for yourself. So you got to take care of your bills, you know what I'm saying? And some of us, that's where we at, you know what I'm saying? But with me, I know that I have to master several things at once, because that is what, I guess you want to say is my livelihood. You know what I'm saying? It's several things that I'm dependent on, like, not only my job, not only the food truck, not only the real estate, I'm investing too. You know what I'm saying? And I think we in here in America, especially the way things are so expensive, like, you have to, honestly, a little camera fail, but honestly, here in America, like, you got to have more than one thing going on, man. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think there's nowhere around it, man. You know what I'm saying? Unless you are entertaining, you're an actor, very wide, fair, celebrity, whatever, or very widely known, you have that as a career, depend on, you know what I'm saying? That's what you do, you know what I'm saying, all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are not at that point in our lives where we're doing our passion every day. We're working towards that, like myself, you know what I'm saying? But I think why you are working towards that, I don't think there's anything wrong with becoming a master at what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? What you might have to do now to, you know what I'm saying, to, provide your, your lifestyle, or, your livelihood or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, I think it's actually necessary to have multiple disciplines, you know what I'm saying, and become master of a number of things, you know what I'm saying, or where you just know a little bit about some of everything, you know what I'm saying, and and you're able to pull all of those things together and make them happen, you know what I'm saying, simultaneously, you know what I'm saying, because it's possible, it's hard, like me, it's hard on me, it's very hard trying to run and keep up with 3 different businesses, you know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, I'm doing it, I'm literally doing it, and I'm like, I feel like I'm just so close with the food truck thing, you know what I'm saying, actually running like a full service business, and possibly where it turns into a restaurant, and and beyond, you know what I'm saying, probably global, like, you know what I'm saying, on a global scale, because I was telling my lady tonight, I was like, man, honestly, I feel like nobody can't touch me like the peach cobbler. I really, the way I make it, and I don't even tell nobody, it's like, I guess you want to say it's like a trade secret, you know what I'm saying? But I really don't feel like nobody could outdo me on peach cobbler, you know what I'm saying? Not only from that, from the efficiency, the scale, at scale, the way I can make it, and as efficient as I make, quick as I can make it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like nobody can do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and I'm making it by hand. You know what I'm saying? And I mentioned, you know what I'm saying, the peach cobbler factory. They ain't got nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to say, like they, out of spite. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all, they stuff coming out of machines. You know what I'm saying? Mine's coming by hand. You know what I'm saying? So, I know that a hand is always gonna be the machine as far as taste wise. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's not a, like I said, it's not a slight on that, them or anything like that. But a hand is always gonna be better than a machine. You know what I'm saying? Because I can make it to where, you know what I'm saying, I can do certain things with it. Like I said, my crust, make it a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's made a certain way, you know what I'm saying? And put it, you know what I'm saying, in that gas oven, you know what I'm saying, for, the time it needs to cook, and it come out, you know what I'm saying, crisp, like, you know what I'm saying, on top. And like, that's just something that a machine can't do, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, I know here in America, you have to be a master at a number of disciplines. You know what I'm saying? Or at least have a working knowledge of a number of disciplines. You know what I'm saying? Like our homeboy, matter of fact, my homeboy Roscoe, shit, he working GM with me too. You know what I'm saying? He a realtor, you know what I'm saying? And damn good at it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's like shit, got people that's like, I know, the lawyer and they in real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like, saying homeboys that same thing. You know what I'm saying? They running barbering, and then at the St. A Barbers, they doing a dog kennel. They actually literally breeding dogs. You know what I'm saying? So, and doing and master, like master at both trades, both things. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to say to people out there, man, I think, don't let nobody, don't feel bad or let nobody, like, you may see, oh, you know what I'm saying, you just need to do only one thing, you want to focus on one thing. Okay, man, you focus on one thing, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. You want to do that, you focus on one thing and do that. But we got to, man, take care of business. Like, we got to do a number of things, man, to keep the household going. You know what I'm saying? You might have to, work your job, you know what I'm saying? Then you might have to, have a little hustle on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, and you never know. That hustle on the side could overtake your job to where you can, be a master at that and only focus on that one thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we have to be realistic, man, and really, be, like I said, pragmatic and actually have some, reality, you know what I'm saying, in this thing, like have a sense of, a very good dose of reality, man, you know what I'm saying, in regards to that, you know what I'm saying, because it's like, hey, man, some people, we got to do a number of things to keep our household up, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be just like one thing that we doing, but I can say if you get to where I say that if you can get to where you can just focus on one thing, hey, that's cool. I think that probably be like, that'd probably be, really good and actually easy on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like with me, like I said, I want to get to where, hey, man, I build this real estate up, rental car business, the food truck business, investing where that's just, it's set. The money's coming. From me go grinding and getting them businesses together, the money set is coming in, and I'm focused strictly on music. The rest of my life, I'm doing music. You know what I'm saying? Learning piano, guitar, drums, just whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever make my heart sing. You know what I'm saying? Rapping, singing, making beats, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's all music. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say that, like, man, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? If you doing a number thing, man, don't feel bad. And if you got to work several jobs, don't feel bad. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying, till you can get better, till you get where you need to be, you know what I'm saying? So, I just want to say that, man. I think that, hey, man, you have to master number things. Then, we got, like our brother Imhotep, like I know some of my, people don't know, the history, you know what I'm saying? But we had, people in history, that were multi-disciplinarians, you know what I'm saying? Or masters, a number of different disciplines, you know what I'm saying? Like Imhotep, man, he was a master, man, of medicine, architecture, certain different sciences, you know what I'm saying? Astronomy, he built the step pyramid for Pharaoh Dozier, you know what I'm saying? Third dynasty, you know what I'm saying? So that was like, around, third dynasty, maybe like 4600 BCE, before the common era, you know what I'm saying? So, that brother, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they, they try to say Hippocrates, father medicine, but Hippocrates got his knowledge from, if y'all don't know, pretty sure y'all do know that basically the Greeks got all of their knowledge, their wisdom, their philosophies, like they were known as philosophers. They got that from what's called the Pharaoh, the king philosophers. You know what I'm saying? They actually got their knowledge from, that's what they actually called them. You know what I'm saying? The Pharaoh, the king philosophers. You know what I'm saying? To where they would go they would sit at their feet and get their ancient wisdom, you know what I'm saying, that philosophy from those ancient pharaohs, you know what I'm saying? From those pharaohs, you know what I'm saying, who were known as king philosophers, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, we haven't been taught our true history, so we wouldn't know that, you know what I'm saying? But we have our ancient, ancestors in history that were known to be multidisciplinaries. They were known to be masters at multiple disciplines, you know what I'm saying? Not just one, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not gonna ever say, hey, I can't master a number of things, you know what I'm saying? I can't do this, or, I can't do that. I got to only focus on one thing, you know what I'm saying? No, I wouldn't say that, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that because, like I said, history shows us that we had, you know what I'm saying, masters, you know what I'm saying, at different disciplines, you know what I'm saying? And very astute and adept, you know what I'm saying, at those disciplines, you know what I'm saying, very adept at those disciplines. So, I don't think we should take that. I don't think we should accept that we only can focus on one thing, you know what I'm saying, be good at it, man. I mean, just think about it like this. Like, we got to work out. You got to know how to work out, in a sense. You go to the gym, you read, you know what I'm saying, you study how to eat, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you studying, you actually becoming a master at this discipline, this like workout, fitness discipline. I would say it like that, you know what I'm saying? At this particular lifestyle or whatever, this particular way of life, you know what I'm saying? You are becoming a master at that. You're eating right, years on top of you. You're working out hard, or you doing certain workouts year after year. You become a master at that. We don't think about it. You become a master at that. You know what I'm saying? Your job. You probably know how to do your job. You know what I'm saying? You done your job for years. You become a master at that. You know what I'm saying? Even to the down to we had to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Down to making your favorite dish or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to give ourselves more, I think we do need to give ourselves more credit, you know what I'm saying? Because, people make us feel like, oh, I don't know how to do it, I don't know. Like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself credit, because in certain things you become a master at, but you just hadn't looked at it like that. Like, you know how to do a multiple, multifaceted, level of things, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, it's just not looked at like that. It's like, oh, well, that's not important or that ain't, no. You drive your car to work every day, you know what I'm saying? And save your life and other people's life, you know what I'm saying? That should be, you know what I'm saying? Like I said here, of course, you have accidents, people do run into people and they driving crazy, but I'm just saying, like, it's certain things, like, man, we had to give ourselves credit on, and I don't think we give ourselves, enough credit on, you know what I'm saying? So, we just equate mastering something with a whole bunch of money. That's, like, to me, I just think that's like, yeah, who don't want to make some money? We all want to make some money, right? You know what I'm saying? But to master something and equate it with money, I wouldn't say that's what mastery is. You know what I'm saying? It's when you've got it to where you can do it without, you don't have to have the instructions to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you become a master at it, basically. You know what I'm saying? But but there ain't nothing wrong with, hey, studying and, going back as a refresher, getting the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Maybe reading some, studying or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's good too, even if you become a master, to continue to get the wisdom, the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Have this, whatever playing in the background, soaking up the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that you may just, need to just hear again, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's nothing wrong with that either, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes maybe a workout I want to do, you know what I'm saying? I know I've become a master at working out, fitness, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I get somebody to work out off Instagram and like, okay, I'm finna hit it. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna do this hit workout, you know what I'm saying? Tabata training, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, jump rope, you know what I'm saying? A boxing workout, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good, like I said, in that sense, so, yeah, I just think that, man, like I said, for people out there, man, if you working multiple jobs or whatever you got to do, so, more than one thing, and, you might feel a certain way, like, dang, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm not really, I ain't really doing, this the way I want to, or, what I'm saying, I wish I didn't have to do this, because I'm not able to, get good at it or whatever. You're like, man, what I'm saying, just continue to build on it, what I'm saying, continue to focus on it, and also, if you have to do it because you got to provide, for your livelihood, provide for yourself, like, man, say, do what you got to do and don't feel bad about it, you know what I'm saying? Because, some of us, we all have to do what we got to do, you know what I'm saying? Until we can get to where we want to be and be actually doing what we want to do in life, you know what I'm saying? So, some of us might not be there right now, and that's fine, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like, hey, keep doing what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? And putting your best foot forward every day, man, that's what count. That's just what it is, man. That's what count, man. Put your best foot forward every day and keep going, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here, man. I just want to say that, that we can master, man, a number of things, and we should actually strive for mastery. I think that's good too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Strive for mastery and do the best you can at what you are doing. You know what I'm saying? So and take pride in that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say that, get on here. You know what I'm saying? Talk to y'all, man. Talk to my people. And, what I'm saying? Just want to, drop that on y'all. And just, just provide a positive word, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I think sometimes people, get it misconstrued with, being, they said, a jack of all trades, you know what I'm saying? You doing this and you doing that and you ain't became a master, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I would always say, I would rather, I'm going to try to master all the stuff I'm doing. I'm going to definitely do that. But I would rather be a jack of all trades, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a master none, but better than a master one, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm going to still seek to master what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to know a little bit about some of everything, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it just relates back to, Imhotep, you know what I'm saying? He's mastered at, multiple disciplines, you know what I'm saying? Science, like I said, mathematics, architect, you know what I'm saying? He was known as a priest, you know what I'm saying? A vizier. He was a vizier for Pharaoh Dozier, you know what I'm saying? Built a step pyramid, you know what I'm saying? Grand architect, you know what I'm saying? Known as he was from what I understand, Grand Mason or whatever. But that form of masonry was like, very astute. You know what I'm saying? They were, you know, not just subjective Masons. You know what I'm saying? Objective and subjective. They was, objective actually, practice. You know what I'm saying? Had a in-depth knowledge of architecture, architecture, and actually combining that the architecture, with the constellations. You know what I'm saying? Being able to, like I said, because the understanding was that leaving this life, your spirit travels to the constellations, travels to whence it came. You know what I'm saying? Which is the constellations. You know what I'm saying? Some people, we call it heaven. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, however you want to call it. But our spirit ascends and travels to the heavens. You know what I'm saying? So their architecture lined up with the constellations. So when the Pharaoh left this plane, or when you leave this plane, your spirit would travel, back to the constellations from this plane, through whatever you were, tomb, or, pyramid you were, laid to rest in, So yeah, he was a master of a multitude of disciplines, and which he should be honored. Actually, the Greeks, like I said, they knew that they called him, the god of medicine. He was, like what they say Hippocrates was. Hippocrates got all his knowledge from him. Actually, it was written, I think Herodotus, it was written in books, from certain Greek historians, that the knowledge came from the, the philosopher kings. Literally. Their knowledge, their philosophy, they trying to say Aristotle and all them, Plato and all them. They got their knowledge from the philosopher kings. Even in Proverbs, we don't talk about this, but I'm gonna say this though. Even in Proverbs, them Proverbs, that ancient wisdom is Akhenaten. The Proverbs of Akhenaten. They say it's David, but the Proverbs of Akhenaten. Those texts were totally written from the Proverbs of Akhenaten. So, and Akhenaten was a pharaoh. And, he actually, had a lot of wisdom. A lot of that wisdom was, like I said, put in the Bible as Proverbs. David, the Proverbs, or the Psalms of David, or whatever. But nah, or the Proverbs of Solomon, or whatever. But no, it was Proverbs of Akhenaten, which is ancient pharaoh. Of Kemet, or ancient Egypt. That believed in the one God. And instituted that. But anyway, I just want to say that I think that, hey, that we can master multi-disciplines, and it's nothing wrong with being a person that does a number of things, at the same time, But like I said, if you can get to where you're doing that one thing that you want to do in life, and that's all you do, cool. Try to get to that, But I don't think there's nothing wrong with us, how we got to do it here in America, man. We got to do a number of things, man, to survive. Hey, do what you got to do. Until you can do that. Till you can do that one thing that's all you doing, and you ain't got to do nothing else. Especially because, and I think it's good too, because it's good to do a number of things right now if you're working towards that, to doing the thing you love to do. So like me, mine is music. You might like to write poetry. You might want to write books for the rest of your life, or whatever. You might just, I don't know, you might just want to go on vacation for the rest of your life. Whatever floats your boat, man. I would say this, I'm going to end on this. Do what you got to do, whether it be a multiple things, and you have to be a jack of all trades to get there. Man, do what you got to do until you can get to where you want to be and live the life you want to live. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And at the same time, becoming a master at those multitude of things you may have to do to get where you want to be. And living your life, and like I said, you living your passion. Cause like, even for me, like right now, music is not going to take care. Like I'm not going to be able to jump out with the music, even though, like I said, I love music and I do it for the rest of my life, but I have to be financially responsible for myself and take care of myself and work and do the other things I have to do to support myself. Because right now, I just know that me jumping to music only is not going to do it. right now. You know what I'm saying? I got other stuff going on. So I understand that we have to be financially responsible. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you know, to the people that are striving, they doing, you know, they thing, you know what I'm saying, and they're artists, you know, maybe whatever they may be, fitness people, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying. Keep doing that, man. I support anybody that's, hey man, if you know that's what you want to focus, and that's all you gonna lay it on the line and do that, you know what I'm saying. Whether you got to struggle or not, man, do what you got to do. I support that too, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, like I said, for those of us that aren't, don't be ashamed, man. If you're not doing what you want to do, like, don't be ashamed. Keep working until you get there, man, because eventually you'll get there. You know what I'm saying? And even though you might have to do multiple things to get there, you'll get there and be able to live the life you want to live. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm in on that note, man. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying, checking me out or whatever, you know what I'm saying, listen to my videos, you know, you feel like this might help somebody, man, sure, you know what I'm saying, give me a like, you know what I'm saying, subscribe, you know, hit the notification word whenever I drop a video, man, you know what I'm saying, you'll know, you know what I'm saying, just hit the all, you know, when you subscribe, hit all for all videos, you know what I'm saying, I put out, you'll get notified. But anyway, to the next one, you know, love y'all, man, I appreciate y'all, hope y'all out there doing great, living life, you know what I'm saying, doing well. All right, y'all, to the next one, love y'all. All right.